Live and streaming from CBS News, New York. This is CBS 2 News This Morning.
Now on CBS 2 News, we are just minutes away from the funeral of the fallen NYPD police officer, Jonathan Diller. We reflect on his life and legacy, plus
just want to go say a little prayer for him. You know, it's sad. He's little angel.
An unimaginable tragedy in Sayreville. Details as police are now charging a father in the murder of his 9-year-old son.
Thank you for joining us on this Saturday, March 30th. I am Kelsey Bowen.
And I'm Noah Augustine. Much more on our top stories in a moment, but first, we will throw to Flora Anane.
Diller was shot on a duty during a traffic stop this week. A very somber mood at the funeral today. Family and friends joining fellow officers to remember one of their own. I can tell you the mood even made me emotional. A life taken too soon, too young, and in such a cruel way for someone who was sworn to protect and serve. The detective leaves behind a wife and 2 children. Meanwhile, the man accused of killing him could face life in prison. Back to you in the studio.
You can watch the entire funeral service this morning, beginning at 10:30, streaming on CBS News New York.
Live and streaming from CBS News, New York. This is CBS 2 News This Morning.
Now on CBS 2 News, we are just minutes away from the funeral of fallen NYPD officer John Diller. We reflect on his life and legacy. Plus,
Just want to go say a little prayer for him. You know, it's sad. He's little angel.
An unimaginable tragedy in Sayreville. Details as police are now charging a father in the murder of his 9-year-old son.
thank you for joining us on this Saturday, March 30th. My name is Soraya Anderson.
And I'm Keziah Mickle. Much more on our top stories in a moment. But first, a check on your forecast. Today, we pause to remember the life and legacy of Jonathan Diller. He was a father, a husband, and an NYPD officer who gave his life protecting the city. Diller was shot on duty during a traffic stop this week. CBS 2's Sincere joins us live from Massapequa, Long Island, at the church where Officer Diller's funeral is taking place. Sincere?
A very somber mood at the funeral today. Family and friends joining fellow officers to remember one of their own. I can tell you the mood even made me emotional. A life taken too soon, too young, and in such a cruel way for someone who was sworn to protect and serve. The detective leaves behind a wife and 2 children. Meanwhile, the man accused of killing him could face life in prison. Back to you in the studio.
An update this morning. On a horrifying story in New Jersey, a father is now charged in the murder of his 9-year-old son, whose body was found inside of a car that they believe was intentionally set on fire.
CBS 2's Christine Sloan reports from Sayreville, and we caution, some of the details are disturbing.
Balloons across from a parking spot behind Sayreville War Memorial High School, where prosecutors say an unspeakable crime occurred. A 9-year-old boy found dead inside a burning car that investigators say had been doused with gasoline and lit on fire. Prosecutors have charged the boy's father with aggravated arson in connection with the fire. Residents on this Good Friday overwhelmed with sadness.
I just want to go say a little prayer for him. You know, it's sad. He's little angel.
The fire call coming in just after 10:45 Thursday night.
Flames, and it was black smoke, and it was pretty big. Like, it was pretty big, and we thought it was the high school.
Authorities say at the same time,
A mother whose daughter was killed by a stray bullet has filed a lawsuit against the company that sells ghost gun kits. Angeli Yambo was killed 2 years ago, just blocks from her high school in the Bronx. She was 16 and had dreams of becoming a doctor. A stray bullet hit her, and police say it came from a ghost gun. The 17-year-old who pulled the trigger was convicted of murder. This week, Yambo's family filed a lawsuit against Polymer 80, a firearm manufacturing company.
We want to bring awareness. We want kids to stop dying for no reason. She was my life, my oxygen, my everything. You broke a family. You broke a mother.
You get ready. Go ahead, read. Yep, you could read.
We reached to Polymer 80 for a comment, but did not get a response. In the Mapleton section of Brooklyn, a fire injured 5 people, 2 critically. It happened in a building that also housed a synagogue. The fire started in the kitchen of a second-floor apartment where the rabbi and his family live. The rabbi was among those injured. Officials say he climbed up to the 3rd floor with his wife and 17-year-old son to check on other relatives. Heavy smoke forced the 3 to the window, where they called for help.
Saw the rabbi, his wife, and his I think his son, all dangling out of that window out there, top window. The FDNY pulled up, and we were able to get them out safely.
Friends of the family in the 2nd floor apartment say they were up early cooking for a big gathering related to a wedding.
Residents on Coney Island are fighting to find a long-term solution to what they call unbearable sounds from the subway. Residents at Brightwater Towers say the screeching is so bad that they have to sleep with earplugs. The MTA says it did track work last month and the Q and the F trains to lower some of that noise. But a community group called Stop the Noise says it's not enough.
On balconies, you hear 110 decibels. 110 decibels, it's a jet.
The fact that it's going around the curve creates a decibel level that's much, much higher than the average decibel level of the subway stations.
Senator Jessica Scarcella Spanton says she is trying to get a cost estimate for an acoustic enclosure.
A jewelry heist in Toms River, New Jersey, resulted in thieves getting away with $1 million worth of items. It happened sometime Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Inside the Ocean County Mall, police say the thieves broke into Venzio Jewelers by first cutting a hole in the wall of an adjacent empty storefront. Investigators say that then they sniped the phone and alarm cables and used a torch to break into a large safe.
Coming up, a new study sheds light on alcohol's connection to heart disease in women.
Plus, cleanup continues in Baltimore after the bridge collapse. The latest developments from the scene.
And Craig Allen will be back with another check on the forecast. You're watching CBS 2 News, Saturday morning.